Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar for the Commonwealth Executive Masters of Business Administration and Masters of Public Administration courses offered here at UCC in conjunction with the Commonwealth of Learning. Today we have a more than distinguished panel to share with you information about the program. To my far right is Mrs. Andrea Ray. She is the Director of Recruitment and Enrollment. Right beside her is Miss Diane Boyd. She is giving the peace sign and the thumbs up. She is the Director of Admissions and Student Service in the College of Graduate Studies. And beside her is Dr. Tom Amonde, giving a wave. And he is the Senior Director in said college. I am Gary McKenzie. I'm the Graduate Recruiter in the Department of Recruitment and Enrollment. And beside me, to my left, is Mr. Rainford Wint. He is a student in the CEMBA program. So he can tell you, he's a graduate student in the program, and he can tell you all you need to know about the nitty-gritties of the program. So we have a cadre of persons here who are more than willing to give you information about the program. Just a few housekeeping matters. We have a question and answer section to the program after we have made brief presentations. We're asking that the questions be typed in the chat, and we'll address each question as they appear during the question and answer session. The panelists will answer the questions as they appear. We will have our first presentation given by Dr. Tom Amonde, he will tell you more about the program.
Right.
Dr. Amonde.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to speak to the overview of the program. And first of all, I would like to tell you about the College of Graduate Studies and what it is that it does. Formally, the College of Graduate Studies was constituted in 2012 to reposition the graduate programs as the unit and create a more strategic, efficient, and holistic framework for offering and delivering graduate programs. It continually scans and evolving education, human resource needs, and business and public sector in order to respond with expanded program offerings. The CEMBA CEMPA program has, I come to that, CEMBA CEMPA program has three objectives. The three objectives are: one, to enable students in the Commonwealth to obtain affordable master's degree, contributing to their professional growth and career advancement and to their country's development. Two, to enable Commonwealth students to develop human resource in management in the business and public sectors. And three, to develop quality postgraduate programs that can be implemented widely within the Commonwealth countries and be internationally recognized. Now, you've heard what CEMPA and CEMPA programs are, but probably you're not clear what the C is. C is Commonwealth of Learning. So the CEMPA programs are being offered by UCC in collaboration or in partnership with the Commonwealth of Learning. And we get involved from time to time in recruiting students to join our program. And this is exactly what we are doing now. So the recruitment strategy for graduate programs are as follows, right? First, we gather information about our students and what it is that they would like to come for, right? And then we educate them or enlighten them on how to apply and how to go through the process of applying. In that case, we come to you now so that you can listen to us on how to go through the process and the viability of the process, right? I'll turn over to Diane to continue with the presentation, and maybe you'll come back to me.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, how are you qualified for this program? Are you qualified for this program? The ideal applicant for the indigenous programs, master's programs at UCC, is somebody who recognizes entrepreneurship, business and management as life callings. You want to either own your own business or you want to proceed up the ladder in your business towards towards upper management. Most of you should be middle managers or entrepreneurs. And we're not just looking for people who want to earn more money or get a promotion. We're looking also for persons who want to develop their characters, their careers, their ability to contribute to their fields and to this country or this region or even the world. You don't have to stay here in Jamaica with a Commonwealth of Learning degree. So let us look at the admission requirements. First of all, you have to be able to speak English. Sadly, we don't teach this program in any other language at UCC at this moment. And so we want to know that you have a working knowledge of the English language at the postgraduate studies level. Additionally, there are two ways to get into this program. One, by having a degree. You would have graduated from a bachelor's degree program with at least a 2.5 GPA, or you can come in as a mature entrant. So suppose you have a bachelor's degree, but your GPA is below 2.5. You can still come because we have other matriculation elements that can assist you with matriculating into the program. One of which is called the CEMBA for short. It is the entry level test that persons who have a bachelor's degree with a GPA 2.5 and above are actually exempted from. So if you have a bachelor's degree and you are desirous of coming into this program, all you need to do is to sit and pass the CMAT test. It's a test of your English skills, test of your math skills, test of your reasoning skills, and a test of your awareness of general knowledge. Suppose you have no bachelor's degree and you want to come in as a mature entrant. Well, listen to this. Mature means that you must have had at least 10 years working experience. So you're not a newbie. You didn't just leave school and join the workforce. You've been in the workforce for a while, because guess what? This information, these skills, this knowledge, this experience is going to help you to matriculate into the program. And that's what is really great about this program. You will have to do the CMAT test like the other people, of course, but in terms of using your work experience to matriculate into the program, you're going to have to prepare what is called the Prior Learning Assessment Portfolio. Sounds complicated, There's a lot of P's there. The prior learning assessment portfolio, it's all about you. It's all about what you bring to the table. It's all about your experiences, your prior experiences in management and supervision, your experiences in acquisition of skills for your particular job, all those short courses you have been sent on or you chose to do, all those other types of training that you participated in. You're going to accumulate documentary evidence of all of these experiences and put them in a portfolio. I recommend that you put them in 2 portfolios, one for yourself to keep on your top shelf and one for us at UCC. Why? Because when you go searching through your bottom drawer to find all of these papers, you will see a different picture of yourself. You say, I did all this, all of this is me, all these 10, 15, 20 years. When you actually see it on paper, it looks very impressive. So you would be looking for evidence of the promotions that you've gotten, evidence of workshops that you've attended, evidence of awards that you've received, evidence of other kinds of non-formal training and certifications, evidence of business ownership, evidence of membership in professional organizations, evidence of your work in your community, the contributions that you've made in your community, evidence for whatever roles you have played in your field and in your organization. So you may ask questions later on, but that is it in a nutshell. 2 different parts. You come in with your bachelor's degree, 2.5 and over. You come in straight, that's full acceptance. You come in with your bachelor's degree, maybe you didn't do so well, maybe you had some issues, so you have a low GPA. You do the CMAT and you pass the CMAT, and then the mature entry road where you do the CMAT, the entry test, as well as provide the portfolio. Along with the CMAT and the portfolio, you will come in and speak to me, as well as Dr. Amande, in an interview. It's not, as you look at us, you see we are very friendly and easy to talk to. And so it's not going to be an intimidating process at all. We encourage you to get on this right away. You just have a few weeks if you intend to join us in September for online or in October for face-to-face. If there are any other questions, feel free to ask.
Right. I might want to add that the 2 programs do carry 14 courses. The 14 courses, there are some which are called core courses, and there are some which are called required courses. The CEMPA program, which is the public administration, and the CEMBA, which is the business administration, the 2 share 7 courses. The 7 courses that they share are strategic management, management in organizations, management information systems, quantitative techniques, operations management, financial accounting and management, and managing human resources. Now, in all that, those are core courses, but they are specialist courses, and there are other core courses for CEMPA. One, which is economic environment of business, and managerial accounting for number 2. Other core courses for CEMPA are project management, right, and public systems management. So you've seen that we now have 9. It means that we have 5 remaining. Those 5, they are those which are called required courses for for the two programs. There are three. Those three courses are business ethics, research methods for decision making, and master's applied project. Those three are required, which means you must do them. You must do those. I will refer you to the rest. I will refer you to what we call our prospectus, which is available electronically. So please go to our website for the prospectus of this program, and you will read for yourself. What I just covered there is found on page 8 of the prospectus, the electronic version of it. If there are any questions, you can ask them at some point as we continue with the webinar.
I would just like to add, along with the eligibility requirements and the matriculation process that I just spoke about, there are prerequisites that you will need to have for this program. If you already have business administration, a bachelor's in business administration, or even an associate degree and some diplomas in business administration, you should have most or all of these requirements. One, you need to have quantitative methods, college algebra, statistics, some math-related course. You have to have an accounting course, at least the financial accounting, cost accounting courses, and then you also have to have an economics course, micro and macro. So if you have those in your background, we will, say that you have completed those requirements. If you're a lawyer, you're a teacher of English, you're a nurse, some other profession that does not have these prerequisites, then you'll be required to do those prerequisites. Not necessarily before you begin the program, but definitely before you begin the courses for which they are required. So that information is also in the prospectus. So please check. If you have, some of you may have various diplomas from other places, please, you have to get your transcripts for us to be able to assess whether you need to do these prerequisites or not.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Boyd. Mrs. Boyd, that's a word of prophecy. Mrs. Boyd and Dr. Amonde for telling us more about the programs. I see the questions are coming in. You can continue typing the questions in the chat. When we get to the question and answer section, we will definitely address each and every one of those questions as time permits. You will see on the agenda posted that we're supposed to have a lecturer's point of view. The lecturer is unavoidably absent due to illness, but Dr. Amonde can answer any questions you have from the lecturer's point of view. But now we're going to be hearing from the man who has gone through the mill and has seen it all. He's been through the CEMBA program, and he can tell you more about it from an honest perspective. It's not just from us trying to sell you, but he has been through it, and he can also tell you the benefits of it. I speak of Mr. Renford Wilkes. Wint.
Okay, good afternoon. Should I say fellow prospective CEMBA and CEMPA students? One of the first things I've always articulated when I speak to new students or prospective recruits to this program is you only get from the program what you put in. And one of the things that you need to understand that it's an intense course. It's 5 weeks per subject. That means within that short period, you are required to do a midterm test, maybe a project, and a final exam in 5 weeks. So it is not to be taken lightly. But at the same time, the course itself, it was not said earlier, but the course itself is actually very practical in its nature. It's not heavily theory-based, but it's heavily application-based. So you're asked to actually, in a lot of the courses, if not all, from what I remember, do actual applications of the subject matter that you're being asked to look at. So let us look at, for instance, accounting, accounting classes. You're actually asked to do something that is directly related to what will occur in an organization, even your organization, as a part of your learning process. So it is highly practical in its nature. The second thing that I have taken from the course, and I think you should all be prepared for, is that it is geared towards your understanding and working with other people. One thing that the course requires as a matter of course is that you must work in groups. Now, the group dynamic is something that is very special to your learning process, because at the end of the day, with all groups, you'll have your storming period, which is just getting to know each other. And then your norming period is when you actually start to settle down into understanding each other's behavior type. But at the end of the day, it's very clear that you have to work with people, and you have to learn how to work with persons of different backgrounds, of different personality types. So one of the things that this course does very well is that it, I wouldn't say forces you, but it enables and educates you into how best to work with anybody, because at the end of the day, where you go, you have no control over. Who you work with, you have no control over. So apart from giving you the academic perspective, it also gives you the interpersonal perspective as to how to work effectively. All right? So that's, for the most part, it has been a great 2 years. It was a great 2 years. And I've grown, I've learned. And one of the things that research has shown is that when you're finished with your master's degree, half of you will actually be promoted, not in your organizations, but somewhere else. So be prepared to, after you finish this very practical degree, to start seeing the fruits of your labor. Dr. Monday alluded to, and I'm going to reinforce, this thing is acceptable in 52 countries, including the United States. So you are not at the point of completion limited to only being to benefit in Jamaica. You can literally benefit to almost any other country that you may have an interest in. All right, so that's one of the key elements for me when I made a decision. It is accredited in 52 countries. All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wint. Got it right this time. At this point, we will have the question and answer segment. So we will answer the questions in the order which they were asked. And I see Dr. Amonde raring to go with the answer to the first question.
Right. So the first question was asking, what if I don't have bachelor's, but I have mastery of management diploma level 7 in marketing from Cambridge International College? Here is the appropriate response. Now, you will send us you will have to submit your documents, all the documents that are related to that, plus anything else, so that we do the evaluation of those documents and then see whether they are equivalent to bachelor's or whether we can use them for your entry. But what I added to your question is that if you are not a mature entry, because you did not ask the question whether you are mature entry or not. So if you are mature entry, then we will still do the same, but also take into account that you are mature entry. So all those other things that apply to mature entry will apply to you, right? Take the second one. Right?
Just to add though, just a reminder, Mrs. Boyd spoke about the different steps for a mature applicant. So you would of course be required to do the CMAT test that we spoke about, the entry requirement, and then you also be looking at a portfolio. So you can start, you know, if it is that you may be considered as a mature applicant, start looking about, you know, the things in the bottom drawer she talked about, start pulling together
those qualifications and those community involvement and things that you may want to put together in that portfolio so we can see who you are and kind of see what you're bringing to the table in terms of being admitted to this program.
We have samples of portfolios that you can come in to look at so that you can get an idea of the types of things you can put in. You can put in photographs of you receiving an award if you cannot find the actual award. So it's really documents that show what your life, your professional life and your life in the community has been for the past 10, 15 or 20 years, however long you've been out there. I wanted to take a question on the prerequisites.
Okay.
The prerequisites are all available electronically. So what we will do is we send you the link to go online, access the materials, and you do the exam after you feel you're ready to do the exams once you've gone through the courses. So the courses, 2 of the courses are done via Sailor Academy, which is an online entity, and the other one is done, there's some online material for you to go through, and then we will set the exam for you here. Once you feel that you've done enough practice and you've done enough studying, then, but all of this needs to be done before you are fully accepted into the program. We're not accepting anyone with respect to the matriculation. With the prerequisites, you have to, remember, you have to finish them before you do the courses. So Dr. Amanda spoke about quantitative techniques. You must do the intro to quantitative methods prerequisite before you embark on that course. The 2 accounting courses, financial accounting and managerial accounting, which only the CEMBA people do, for those 2 courses, you must have done the introduction to accounts that is on Sailor Academy's platform. And finally, for the econ is only done by the CEMBA students. So if you're coming in to do CEMPA, there are only 2 prerequisites. For the CEMBA, there are 3 prerequisites. So the econ is the 3rd one. In fact, sorry, yes, that's true. Right. So the econ, that's also on Sailor Academy, and we can give you those now. If you once you've applied, we can send you those links and you can start working on those courses as soon as possible. Yes, you can switch from CEMBA to CEMPA if you wish. What usually happens when you are applying, you will click one, check one as the course that the program that you want to do as your first option, and then there's a second option. You can actually do both courses. There is such a thing as a second master's program, and we actually do have a number of persons who are currently in the second master's program, but you have to graduate from the first one that you've chosen to do first. Once you've successfully completed the requirements for the first one, then you can embark on the second one. The second one only takes a year. Just takes a year, because you will be given advanced standing for the core that you have done in the first program that you did.
All right, so just to respond to the next question I see posed there, about where the transcript should be addressed to and how long. So let me take the first segment and answer that first. So transcripts coming into us should be official. They should be coming directly from the institution that you attended, the previous institution. And it should be sealed. So to make it official, it comes to us sealed. And it's going to be addressed. We send it out to you afterwards. But for those who write in now, it should be addressed to the College of Graduate Studies and Research. And that is at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. And our address here is 17 Worthington Avenue, New Kingston, and that's Kingston 5. Okay, so we will definitely be sending out this information as well, so you'll have it electronically via email, as well as it's also on our website. So again, sealed transcript in an official capacity, and it should be addressed to us here at the College of Graduate Studies. Now, the second segment of the question asked about how long does the online take to complete? And so the online program for the CEMBA CEMPA actually takes the same as a face-to-face. So it's typically 20 to 24 months.
It's 24 months.
It's the same academic rigor. So it's the same time as you would face-to-face, no difference, same academic rigor.
Same lectures,
same syllabus.
Same material.
Right, so I hope that answers that part of the question, right? Barnett?
Just to add,
Right.
we might not have covered this, that the modalities of teaching are both online and face-to-face,
Right.
but they may be a blended situation where at some point you get to do a online, even though you may have registered for a face-to-face, but you may get that you are mixed with an online group, because it may depend on the number of students that are in a given cohort, online cohort or face-to-face cohort. We usually have a minimum of 25 students per cohort. So for example, if a cohort has only 11 online and another cohort has only 10 face-to-face, then it is possible that for some courses, those two cohorts may be combined if they are going together at the same time.
Okay.
Right?
And just to add to, I do know present with us here, we probably have a mix of persons from different regions, not just Jamaica. So, you know, as Dr. Munda mentioned, that there is a face-to-face aspect as well. I know we did promote, you know, for most of you from maybe Barbados, Bahamas, and so on, that may be on this webinar as well. You do have the option to do this program completely online. So while there's the option to do it either face-to-face or in a hybrid format or completely online, depends on what works better for you. So I just want to bear that in mind.
I wish to answer the question about face-to-face interview. No, you don't have to come in to meet with us face-to-face. If you are unavailable, or we would prefer for you to come in and meet with us face-to-face. But if you are not available, we can call you. We can do a teleconference and meet with you via telephone. There's another question about the
start date.
Crystal is asking when do classes start. Hi, Crystal. We spoke, but you can remind Crystal.
Right. So Crystal, classes for online begins in September. It will start with the orientation for 2.5 weeks, and then those who may be considered face-to-face classes will start in October. Now, the deadline for application, I believe that was the other segment of the question. The deadline for application, if you are looking for online, we're actually looking for the deadline to be by the end of August and latest. That means you have everything in place for ready to go transcripts. If you need to do PLA, if you need to do the CMAT, everything is ready to go by the end of August.
Yeah, I missed something with the CMAT. Somebody's asking some more information.
Right.
So the CMAT costs $100 for two reasons. One, we have to market.
$100 US.
$100 US dollars.
Yes.
Right. Sorry, $100 US dollars. We have to market. But two, you get access to online materials that you can go through to get yourself ready. And it's a lot of stuff. So once you pay that $100 US, then you will get access to all the materials for each of the there are 4 different exams. So there's, as I said, there's the math exam, the English exam, the general awareness exam, and the reasoning exam. And you don't have to take all of them at the same time. So say you want to, you only have lunchtime. Although you need to be preparing yourself to come to class, to come to classes on Sundays and after work on Tuesdays or Thursdays. But anyway, suppose you only have lunchtime, you can come and take the English, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Come and take the English one lunchtime, then you come back and you take the other one, and so on. We are able to facilitate you like that. Additionally, if you fail, then you get the opportunity to do it over without any additional fees, and you will still have access to the materials that are online. Additionally, the pass mark is very low. So it's very doable. We just want to know, we don't want to know that you're Einstein. We just want to know that you can do a little math, you can speak English, you're aware of what's going on the planet, and that you can reason logically. That's what we want to know.
So afternoon again, I believe Ben, you had something to add? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
What are the steps?
the next one was about the cost of the program.
But before we go there, though, I just wanted to acknowledge Barrett, I believe, had a question. So what are the next steps when I leave the webinar?
Okay.
If I'm interested as a mature applicant, and it's as if you read my mind. Because when we are finished after this session, we're going to be following up with each of you and find out what are your next steps and how we can get you to be on the next cohort that starts in the fall. So yes, we will definitely be in touch with you. Trust me, we will be in touch. As long as you provided your information to us, we'll absolutely be in touch with you, and we'll talk about the next steps. Whether you're a mature applicant or you are going to be coming as a degree applicant. All right, over to you, Gary.
So additionally, I could, as the recruiter, one of the recruiters for the program, I could drop my contact details in the chat, right, so you can follow directly with me. In terms of the cost of the program has a very attractive cost as far as the market is going. Face-to-face, the program costs $12,500. That's a little above $1 million Jamaican dollars. So that's $12,500 US to do the program face-to-face. The regular cost to do the program online is $11,250. However, for persons coming in for the next cohort, there is a grant, a significant grant for persons coming in online, and they'd only pay $8,900. So if you're doing the program face-to-face, we're looking at $12,500 US, which is a good price for the program. And if you're doing it online, significant discount at $8,900.
Let me add on the cost. While those are absolute values, you coming in as a student and it's assumed that you're not going to fail any course. So if you do not fail, those are the costs. If you do fail one, there's a cost to repeating that module, that course, right? So once you are in, we will tell you the cost of repeating, because it may change soon.
And
right,
just to add though, there are payment plans available. To access the payment plans, you would make a small payment, a non-refundable payment, which is a part of the fee of $250 US, and then you would come in and speak to our student financial services about what packages are available that would suit your budget, and then you would make the payments based on the agreements that you have with the student financial services.
And just to add, let me tell you from a personal perspective, the fees and the packages are structured for your convenience. I never paid mine in full, and I was never pressured to the point where I felt uncomfortable for paying. And I'm here and I'm finished, and I'm quite okay. But I started without knowing how I'm going to pay for this course. But because of the payment opportunities that I was given, I'm here and I'm finished, without knowing how I would pay for it when I started. That's so flexibility is once you keep in contact with the college and let them know where you are. But they give you structured payment plans, just follow it and you're good to go. All right?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
All right, so Shadeen, I see you're wanting to know what date in October the face-to-face classes begin. And so, as I mentioned before, the orientation aspect will begin right now tentatively towards the end of October, but we'll give it the final dates in a little bit. We send it out so you have the exact date and you can plan around it. But right now, towards the end of October, the last week in October is the tentative date for now.
All right, there are a couple of quick questions here. If you have to make a payment before you can access the information, at least the application fee of $15 must be paid before you can access the information for the prerequisite courses. We would wish for you to be at least provisionally accepted before we provide you with the prerequisite courses. In the case where you have to do an online class, what typically happens, there are two scenarios. You have to fly out and you missed your face-to-face class, and then you join an online group, but you're still in the face-to-face program. Your fee will not typically be reduced at that time. But in the unfortunate event that you fail a module, then when you have to repeat the module and you want to repeat it online, you would be charged the online fee for the module. So once you enter on your application form, you will see, check whether you are online or face-to-face. If you are face-to-face, you are paying the face-to-face fees. If, however, for some weird reason, you want to switch from face-to-face to online, and that can happen, so it may not even be weird at all, you want to switch, then we may do some kind of prorating to prorate your fees down to the online fees if there is a significant portion of your program left. So all of those are based on the various scenarios, and you will go and speak with the Student Financial Services to see what is best for your specific situation.
Just to add to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, you wanted to take your question, Dr. Munde? I think Dan answered it. Right. But I see Aaron here is asking, is it possible to switch? And I just wanted to add to what Mrs. Boyd was saying. You can switch, as she mentioned, if life happens. You, for work reasons or whatever personal reasons, you may have to now switch from online to face-to-face. You may fail a class. You may find that you started online, but your learning curve makes you better, more successful on the face-to-face. You are allowed to switch. However, I don't remember Mr. Wint mentioning that you are in teams. So it's usually not conducive and at all recommended that you switch and vice versa and be switching all the time.
No, and you can't do that, Miss. You can't switch mid-module. And so I see here, I start a module and then you want to switch mid-module. No, it doesn't work like that. For the main reason, there's a reason that Mrs. Ray pointed out, but the other main reason is they're not scheduled at the same time. They're not synchronous. The online and face-to-face are not synchronous. Online starts before face-to-face. So online will always be ahead of face-to-face, and it's a lockstep program. So online will start with business ethics, and face-to-face starts with business ethics. By the time face-to-face is doing business ethics, online will be in management in organizations, and it's going to go like that to the rest of the program. So if you are going to miss, if there's a some kind of disaster, some kind of catastrophe where you have to stop mid-module, you need to alert us right away, because you would have registered for that module, which means you would have paid for the module. You may therefore need to take leave of absence, and there are policies surrounding leave of absence. So you'll have to contact us in the College of Graduate Studies immediately should there be some eventuality that causes you to want to stop mid-module. Okay, we would not want you to lose the money that you would have paid having registered for that module.
All right,
So hold on.
Oh, you want to
Harrison J. I think we are answering the question that we think you are asking, but I want to make it clear that maybe we're not answering that question because you are mixing modes and module. So modes here, if it means modality, that is switching from online, as you registered as an online program, to a face-to-face program, then you are answered by Mrs. Ray previously. But if you want to switch mid-module, that is a mid of the course, then it is not possible at all. Right?
Okay. Hope that helped.
Yeah, I think it's Harrison as well wants to find out if the P's fade all at once or throughout the 24-month duration. So Mr. Wint explained to you that we do have flexible, and I think Gary also explained that we have the flexible payment plans. But the longest term for any of the payment plans is 17 months. And I'm not even sure if the 17 months is available for everyone. Right now, the shortest term for most people, for everybody, is 1 year. So there are four times within that 1 year that you would pay on a quarterly plan, but you can't extend payments for the whole 24-month duration. All right, so again, if there is some specific circumstance that you would have to stretch it out over longer than a year, that is a personal matter that you would have to take up with Students Financial Services for them to decide whether they would want to do that or not. So the longest time period for payment is a year. Bear in mind that if you make a one-time payment, you get an additional 5% off of the total that you pay.
All right, Crystal, I see that it's not a problem. You wanted for me to remind you of the date. I believe your question was speaking to when the face-to-face begins. So let me just recap both. The online begins in September, and the face-to-face begins in October. As I mentioned, each of these begins with an orientation, and that orientation typically was for 2.5 weeks. So for September, it's towards the end of September, and the first session is an orientation for 2.5 weeks. You asked also about the deadline for the application, and we're saying that's the end of August. All right, but we'll talk one-on-one, as I said. Afterwards, we'll be in touch with you guys, and we'll just kind of see each individual next step and how we can take you through the process. And probably even, repeat and reiterate most of what we talked about today, more on an individual basis. So when it comes to even payment plans, when it comes to, transcript, application, things like that, we'll talk to you on a one-on-one. And even in terms of you being eligible for mature application or mature admissions, again, on a one-to-one basis. Okay, so Harrison, I see you got the question answered. All right, great. He said he done asked one. All right, do you have any more questions? Were we able to answer everything for you?
Can you please confirm again?
Again, all the prerequisites can be facilitated.
Right, so as I'm saying, once you apply and we recognize that you're committed to the program, all we will do is send you a link for you to go on to the platforms that are in the link and follow the instructions and go through the material. You will read, you will do the practice, you will, all that is necessary on the Sailor platforms. That is what you will do, and then at the end of the period, that the time that you have done the course, then you will have a test to do. For the Sailor, the pass mark is a bit high. It's 70%, and If you don't get the 70% on the test, then you get an opportunity to redo the test after 2 weeks. So they give you 2 weeks to review the material again, get ready for the test, and you do it over. But as I said, it's a lot of material because you're covering, in the prerequisite, you're covering what should have been done in a bachelor's program over a pretty short space of time. So that's why we will send you those links well in advance so that you get a little time on the weekends or over your Christmas holidays if nobody's inviting you for Christmas dinner, then you can spend the time and do your accounts.
All right. So was that fine for you? Any other questions about the prerequisite? All right, so I see Dr. Munda have placed in the chat as well the contact information for you to be able to reach us, and that graduate advisor at UCC is for Sagira Mackenzie. But we'll all be in touch with you and be able to give you all the information that you would need as well. All right. You're welcome, Shadeen. No worries at all.
Right.
All right.
Let me add something. You would have realized by now that we are somewhat friendly. Let me start with that. We are very friendly. And
we'll give you a call.
And we have persons who work in graduate studies who are very friendly. You are guided through the way, like Mr. Wayne had said. And so when you come in, please don't stop asking questions. Ask questions and you will be guided on where to read the thing from, or you will be told where to find information from. Because you come in as adults, we expect you to ask questions and bring the experience that you're coming with. From a lecturer's perspective, lecturers are very friendly. They are accommodating. If you work well in groups, then you'll find yourself, if you work well in groups, let me repeat, you'll find yourself going through the course with little difficulty. I am not saying there will be no difficulty at all, but I'm saying you'll have little difficulty if you cooperate with your group members. In groupings, there is no such person called group leader. Everyone is a group leader. So when you come in, you are not saying, oh, Tom Amoni is the group leader, so he must distribute work so that I can do it. You have to be taking responsibility as an individual and you contribute to that work. In assessment, students, in some courses, students give peer assessment. So they assess you as a group member. They might give you low mark if you did not contribute a lot. They might give you very high mark if you contributed more than everybody else. So we implore you to come in, sign in the application and come in as students, and then we start work towards developing your career, advancing your career, and developing Jamaica and the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Okay, so as Dr. Amuna mentioned, the first point of contact from here is going to be with recruitment. So as Gary Mackenzie gave you his contact information at graduate advisor at UCC, and there is his cell number as well. I'm also available too. My name is Andrea Ray. I'm Director of Recruitment and Enrollment here. And we also have another person in recruitment as well, that's Katrina Jones. And we all here very friendly too. As a matter of fact, we are the face of UCC. You see the beautiful smile we're giving today? Yes. So we will be your first point of contact, but seriously, we'll be here to walk you through the process, answer the questions you may have, and get you ready for your program here at UCC. All right. Let me go ahead, and Dr. Monday is going to put you my contact for you. All right. So it's going to be Recruitment Director at UCC. Director.
Oh, director.
Yeah.
We're doing a typing test.
Director
Says
is not my
recruitment
area.
director, that's correct, at
UCC.edu.
ucc.edu.jm. And my direct number would be 876.
Okay. 876
906
906
3103.
3103.
All right, so feel free to call, email, and we'll be
number
happy
is correct?
to assist.
Where it is?
All right, so just to repeat, my number is 876 906 3103.
Let me put the steps in there.
All right, so do we have any more questions? If not, as we get ready to wrap up.
Katrina's number?
Yes, we're going to go ahead and list all the numbers. As maybe Dr. Munde and Mrs. Boyd, you guys can put your contact as well. So, you know, they'll have access and information for everybody. And, you know, feel like all a part of the UCC family.
No, I will do that.
All right, so while they do that and get all the contact information up, so, you know, you guys do have access to that.
Right, everyone.
I want to, and as we come to the end of this webinar session, I do have the...
Hold on, somebody's asking if a sample of the portfolio can be sent in soft copy. No, because there are people's personal information, so we don't want that out there in cyberspace. So
what we can do though is there are guidelines as to what you would want to include in the portfolio.
Yeah, we have those guidelines, but not the actual portfolio.
Right, but we can give you the guidelines and suggestions, recommendations as to things that you could
It's good to come in during working hours, 8:30 to 5:30 Monday to Thursday.
If you're outside, if you're within Jamaica, especially in Kingston, you can come and we'll be happy to give you a sample, show you a sample. But if you're outside of Jamaica, then what we can do is to send to you the guidelines, and you can use that as an indication of the information and the material that you could put in your portfolio.
And you ask for Gary, Petrina, Andrea, Diane, Tom, everybody.
You
ask for graduate studies or graduate recruitment.
Oh, extension.
All right. So, guys, any other questions? We're coming towards the end. It's been a pleasure, but we're coming towards the end.
421.
All right.
Yeah, we already discussed the portfolio and we're wrapping up now, Yvonne. So we will send you specifically. Well, we'll send to everybody the information on the portfolio, which, as we had mentioned before, that it entails your work experience and your contributions to your profession and your community. Anything that you can document. Yes, that's her.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so we're able to get most of the contact in for everyone. All right, so as we come to the end of the webinar session, I have the pleasure of saying thank you to everyone who attended. So this actually is our first webinar for the online or face-to-face for those who might be interested, Commonwealth Executive Masters Program. So on behalf of the executive team, the management and staff of UCC, I want to say a special thank you for attending. It has been a very informative and engaging webinar. I found it so. Hope you all did the same. And I just want to leave with you, as you contemplate the next steps and think about, the master's program, I do implore you to consider UCC as the institution of choice. As I mentioned before, we'll be in touch with all of you attending, and even some of those who, for whatever reason, did not get a chance to attend, we'll be in touch with you over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of days, into the next couple of weeks, to get a sense from you what's your next step and how we can assist you into realizing your dream of earning your master's degree. And so, again, thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And we're looking forward to you joining our cohort for fall 2019. So all the best and have a good evening.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye. Take care.
All right.